Okay, guys, about 25 minutes later, as you can see, the price actually started moving um, in my favor. So we're currently up about 4.75%, 5.59%. If you recall, 25 minutes ago, we opened up a position at 11,173. It moved down 100 points. Now it's about 80 points lower. So you can see your ROE now would be at 7.54%. If you recall, one of the main points I was trying to stress in the part one of this video was the fact that you don't want automatically to open a large position, because if Bitcoin price moves against you, you can easily lose that position and lose your capital invested. So what at this point that the price is moving my direction, okay, I actually gained a little bit of leeway to add to my position. And typically I would wait much longer to do that. However, Bitcoin price today has tried to move up a few times. It's just having a really hard time doing that. And when you look at all the other contracts, the majority, 95% of them, are in the red. So trend as is your friend. So I definitely don't want to go against the trend. And the trend today is most likely everything will be coming down a little bit lower. So right now I'm about 90 points lower than what I initially put my position in. Typically I would wait till I would be 200-300 points lower, but in this particular case, because the fluctuations have not been as large as they normally are, I'm okay with adding to this position now that I'm 8% in the green. And what I will do is I will go ahead and I will place another trade here at another 500 contracts and see if we can get those at a price of 11.27. Okay, well, it's 11.23. We're going to try to catch that at a limit. Boom. Let's see if we can catch that. All right, there it is. We got a fill. So now our position is we're short 1,000 contracts. Our liquidation price would be at 11,551, which is 351 points higher where it's currently trading. Our total entry price now is the average between the initial purchase where we're entering the position at 11,173 and the second entry was at 11.23. So the system would average it out. So now our average entry price is calculated at 11,148. All right. We do show a small now loss on our position, which I'm not worried about. And we still have some funds remaining to add, very little bit, but we still have some funds remaining to add maybe another 100, 200 contracts if the price moves higher. So just a quick update. Let's see how it plays out after that. Okay guys, back here again checking on my trade, and currently, as you can see, our ROE went from -6% to positive 25.64%. Since we have entered in a position, the price of Bitcoin has declined to 10,996, 11,000 currently. As you can see, it has tried to go up a couple of times, made some efforts, and still every time it tries to go higher, it's getting shut down. So at this point, we're up 27%. We have earned 0.001 Bitcoin. As you remember, the account previously just had 0.004 Bitcoin. So if the trend continues, we're looking at closing out the position at about 10,300. Now there is a chance it may not go that low, so I'll be watching closely when it actually gets to about 10.5 range. So more information to follow on this live trade today. Let's see how it plays out in the next few hours. I'll try to put this entire video from small pieces together, and we'll do some more checking in the next few hours. Now, in the meantime, we still have a small balance, and now since we're positive in the trade, in the earlier video I was specifying how important it was to not just jump in and buy a big position all at once. So I'm actually going to, now that I have a 25-26% gain, I'm actually going to add just a little bit more to the position, and we're looking again at closing at around 10.5, maybe 10.3. What we're going to be looking as far as doing that is the speed at which the price is going to decline. So, and there's a perfect entry. It's currently went up 40 points, so I'm going to jump in there. Perfect 47. Let's see how many we're going to be able to get. As you can see, we got 0.0004 Bitcoin in this little tiny test account, so we're going to see if we can actually pull this off. And again, we're using 25 times leverage. Let's see if we can actually push this trade through. All right, well, it's actually come down while I was talking here, so let's try 31, 37, 26. Boy, missed on 20 points there. That's fine. 26.5. Let's see if we can get, okay, so actually won't let us get quite that much, so we'll try to just add another 100, see if we can do that. All right, and I think it's just below. Hopefully it's gonna, right now the order is pending right here in the active orders. Here's your execution. All right, so now we've accumulated a position of 1,100 contracts short on Bitcoin. Okay, we'll check on it in the next couple of hours. Notice what happened to our liquidation price. Our position actually became a lot safer now, because when we were entering the position, we were entering it at about 1173 was the first 500 contracts we bought. At 11,123 was the second 500, and so we just added now, after seeing that the trade is going our way, we added twice after the initial purchase. And I recommend this strongly, because many times, opposed to the last couple of trading days, Bitcoin fluctuations are so rapid that you can easily lose your position if you just jump all in at once in one direction with a big number of contracts, and if the price all of a sudden goes very fast against you, you could lose out very, very rapidly on your position. So we'll check back in just a little bit and see where we are in the next few hours here. All right, guys, back with you. Forwarded few hours into the trade, measuring some temperature here again. Just so you know, we started this trade earlier this morning, around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and so we're about 8-9 hours. Bitcoin is not acting very typically in the last few days. It barely moves. It's like it's in a tunnel where it's been moving between 10.5 and 11.7, and every time it gets to 11.7, 11.8, it hits a major resistance there, and it starts moving backwards from there. So we initiated this position earlier at around 11.73. At one point our position was down about 6-7%. As you can currently see, it's trading at 10.857, so the trade is going well for us. We're up 55%, and tentatively we're waiting for it to get back to that 10.5 area before we close. It is kind of dangerous, because let's take a look at a larger graph here. Anytime anything moves in such a tight range with very dull volume, if any news were to come out, I mean, it could literally explode into any direction. And I like to watch the accumulation distribution sometimes. What I've noticed, every time it hits the higher levels, it has a tendency to turn around, and every time it hits the lower levels, as you can see right here, it has a tendency to spike from there. So this is kind of a moment where it's questionable if it's going to keep going lower. It can bounce back at any moment, and of course, there is a chance it's just going to continue sliding. But the volume is so light. It is so light for Bitcoin compared to what we've seen last month and even this month, that it's in danger zone right now. Because again, the move can happen either direction, and so we'll measure some temperature here again. But it's so dangerous. It's like kind of like the sea is calm right before the storm type situation. So we're monitoring the position closely and expecting to move in any direction at any point. However, we entered the position about 300 points higher. We shorted, so we actually have our position is we've decreased the risk because the position has been going in our favor. Our liquidation price is 11,559, which I like to monitor closely because you don't want to get kicked out of your position. So from the point we entered, we only had a leeway of maybe 300 points until we were going to get liquidated. So right now we're looking much better. We're literally 650 points away from that, 700 points. So we're looking good. But as volatile as Bitcoin can get at any moment, I mean, it could make moves of 400 to 500 points higher. So, however, the general trend is down today. So we're going to keep holding the position till it reaches 10.5, maybe 10.2 level. And from that point, depending on how the volume is acting, we're going to reevaluate. So check back with you in the next few hours here. All right, guys, welcome back. Today is January the 30th, so we actually opened up this position yesterday. As you can see, the trade did go our way. We're currently up 162% on our short position of 1,100 contracts. At this point, as we discussed in the last part of this trade, we're looking to close the trade between 10.5 and 10.2 area. And this is where it gets kind of tricky. So yeah, there is a chance that it can still go to 10.2. But let's look at enlarge the graph and take a look here. So the market is fixing to open here in about 5 minutes. All the major markets, all the stock exchanges. So we're pretty much be taking a gamble. We could easily wait another 5 minutes and see if this trend will continue and see if we can get another gain of maybe 50 to 70%. But at this point, it has dropped here before many times and kind of stopped here. So this would actually be a good time to get out of the trade, collect your profits, and possibly open a different trade, or ideally just wait and sit for a moment here. So very tempting. As you can see, it's starting to slowly move back up here. It was just as I was opening the screen, it was just about 10,379, so it went up 40-50 points in the last couple of minutes. But the bottom line is, you can see that you don't have to jump in and out of positions to make good returns. We've more than doubled our investment in less than 24 hours here. It was very low stress. We got it done, and I believe if you use a certain set of rules, anyone can do this. So please set up your account. This is a very easy to use account. Have no limitations on what you can deposit. No limitations on how much you can trade. It's open 24/7. So set up your account and start making money, guys. Use the link in the description, my affiliate link. It'll give you 10% off for the next 6 months. Also, if you are in the United States, also gives you the instruction exactly how to set up your account to be able to trade in the United States. So thank you guys. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and here while I'm here with you, I'm going to close this one out. We're going to go here and collect our gains real quick. Let's say we'll close at 10,480. Let's see if we can do that. 496, 10,499. Close position, and there we are. Done. Handled. Thanks for watching, guys. Set up the account and make some money.